Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back at the Komatsu D31 to do some more work to it. Got my cousin here to help, and today we're just going to try and get it cleaned up, power wash it. So let's jump right in. So if you haven't seen the last video on this, it was sitting for about 10 years. The engine was stuck, got it to spin over and got it running and moving. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to put the link down in the description below, so check that out. I don't really know what I want to do in this video. Get it cleaned up, do some work to it, we'll see what happens. Got the Opie's booster pack, the vacuum, and let's get this mouse nest cleaned up here. Brand new. Alright, definitely looks better all washed off, and I painted over where it was black here with some genuine Komatsu paint, but the color's a little bit different than what the rest of this is. But looks good. Still got the nice lawn chair as a seat.
Yeah.
That's a fuel leak. Gotta stop that. Let me back it up so we don't block ourselves in. Shut off the battery. Alright, we're going to take off this floor pan, see if we can see that line. I think it's a return line because it doesn't leak much when it's sitting. I mean, the rest of what's sitting in the belly pan will leak out. But if it was leaking while it's sitting from the tank on the feed line, it would all drain out of the tank because the fuel pump is up here. It only really leaks when it's running. And the return line is pumping quite a bit of fuel back. Alright, we found the leak. It's just that return line. So it should be pretty easy to get that fixed. Okay, I'm back a couple weeks later actually to try and address the broken fuel return line, or the leak in the fuel return line. So as far as I know, this machine hasn't been started in those couple weeks. So let's first see if it's going to start up. One leak is fixed, but it's still leaking. It's still leaking. I think that's fuel back there. And it looks like it's just another leak in the fuel return line. Let's see if it's leaking anywhere else. Got the old piece of line off. The rest of it is sitting down in there somewhere. I'm gonna try and fish it up and see how short I can cut it to get the broken piece off. No more leaking. You can see all the way to the hydraulic pump from back here. This is actually pretty good access. That's what I like to see. Not a single drip so far. Not a single drip so far. Alright, we have it moving again, but it only the right steering brake works. The left does nothing. See? All the way down, nothing. That valve block where those two hoses go into it is the steering valve, and there's two plungers or spools on each side that move when you push the pedals. So when I push this pedal all the way down, you can look up and see that spool right there. There's a lever that pushes on it, is all the way pushed in. So I don't know, maybe it's out of adjustment. Okay, so here's where we're at with this machine. We have one major roadblock. Basically, the engine goes into a power shift transmission that goes into a differential that splits into two clutches with brakes on each of the clutch. So our problem is with the left clutch / brake. So there's a couple things that we have to test. One is, are we getting pressure to the clutch pack to disengage it? And if we are, is the clutch pack still not disengaging, or is the brake not engaging? Because sometimes on these machines, you can disengage one track and it will still keep driving forward because it doesn't have enough resistance on that side to actually turn the machine. 20 kilograms per squared centimeter is 284 psi. So around there is what we want. Let's fire it up, see what we get. So it looks like our maximum was 265 psi.
Since 1957, the family is there, and that's their pizza.
Okay, now we have good access. This cover, uh-oh. Red silicone. Someone was in here. So that's the band brake, and then that shiny part is the clutch drum. That's the piston, and then that fork is what pushes in on the clutch drum. So let's fire it up, see if we can see that move. Well, this is what happens when you're hungry and you get impatient. I thought, so this is the fitting that goes down to that piston. I had thought that the fitting was a part of this plate and that it was an O-ring into the piston. See the diagram, I don't know, I guess I should have saw that was an O-ring. But there's no, it doesn't specifically put threads there. Now I need a new one of these. So I just made this machine from semi-operable to not operable at all. So that's great. So this is how I should have taken it apart the first, with the left side. Oh well, you live and you learn, I guess. Seems like I do a lot more learning than living, but I don't know. Should be good to take this cover off now. Guys, don't forget to leave your comments right now about how I should have cleaned this before taking that cover off. Another thing I like about this design, I've been able to take this seat, all this stuff apart with a pair of needle nose pliers and a 17mm socket. That's it. Good job, Komatsu, with this design. And I can do this without having to take that much other stuff apart. Komatsu engineers in the 80s were at least thinking a little. Also, make sure to leave your comments about how I should be wearing gloves. You're right. So here's what that piston looks like. So I guess I should explain why I took all this stuff apart. I thought that maybe that piston was seized in there and causing the clutch to not disengage, but I don't see any problems with it. The O-ring and backup ring in here look fine. So this was kind of a waste of time. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, I got this cover back on, the two covers back on the steering clutch. I didn't put the piston in or this fit in because I need to figure a way to fix that. Okay, that is still not super clean, but it's clean enough that we shouldn't be... I got some water down there, no big deal. Clean enough that we shouldn't be making the stuff more dirty as we work. Alright, a couple days later, and I tried to get this... I put this all back together. I put the piston back in, the lines back on that cover, and I put solvent, dump solvent down in that inspection plate, similar to a brake clean, and no luck yet. So I'm back. I let the solvent sit for a few days, got some more PB Blaster, and I'm just going to try and work at that and drive it around a little bit more, see if we can't get that to unstick. So that's it for this track loader for now. It needs to have that steering clutch pulled out, or if I bring it somewhere, I'd like to be able to push into piles of dirt. I think that would do a lot more than just tracking back and forth. If I could push, scoop some dirt, you know, dump it, come back, scoop more, it's gonna put a lot more pressure on that clutch. I did try and push into that pile of rocks a couple times, but it just spins both the tracks. So I'm going back to school next week, and obviously I'm not going to be able to work on this several hundred miles away from it. So if anyone wants to buy this as is, the way it sits, with needing a steering clutch, or maybe you could try and break it free yourself, it is for sale if you want to come and get it. If no one comes and gets it, then next summer maybe I'll put a steering clutch in it. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching, and comment if you have any other tricks for getting this clutch loose. Pretty sure I tried everything, but always fun to read the comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.